morning. I'm trying to think of a different way to open up here because welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration kind of bores me sometimes. I can't think of anything really good, so this is what I'm opening with today. Today I was thinking about girls, women, ladies. I have gotten a lot of pleasure out of being with women in my life, and I've enjoyed being with them. I love women, but I've also suffered a great amount from relationships when they were broken off, as probably all men have at some time in their life. And I'm sure women have suffered too when they were rejected by a man or cheated on or whatever it happens to be. You cannot experience pleasure in this life without experiencing some suffering and pain. I read something somewhere once, and it said this: he who loves pleasure will suffer want. But you see, it says he who loves pleasure. It doesn't say he who likes pleasure or he who has a little pleasure once in a while. He who loves pleasure. Probably the translation would probably be more like lust for pleasure. If you live for pleasure because that is a physical sense, then you have to take the opposite, the contrast, which is emotional pain and suffering. And I've had plenty of that in my life too. But that's not a bad thing either, because during those times I was looking for answers. I'm always looking and searching for answers within myself and in books and different places. But when I'm in pain, emotional pain, because of a death in the family or because of the death of a relationship, I'm looking for answers with more vigor than I could ever muster when everything is going well. From my failures, I have learned the most. Because during those times, you felt discouraged before. I know you have. We've all felt discouraged and disheartened. So what's the choice you have in those situations? You can lay down and give up, but what does that consist of? How do you give up? How do you give up? I guess you can run away into drugs and alcohol. But even when I did do drugs and drink alcohol, I was never able to escape it. It's always there. Maybe if you drink yourself into oblivion or a blackout, sure, you can get some temporary relief there, but when you wake up, it's all there again, and usually magnified by the effects of the hangover, the after effects of the drugs or whatever it was you used to escape into oblivion. The only escape is really not escape at all, but you must step into the pain and the suffering. Step into it and through it to the light on the other side. And the light on the other side emerges when you learn from the experience, when you delve deep into yourself and find out why you created such experiences. For me, it's usually been with women. I mean, I was sad and it hurt when I lost my mother and my father through death, natural death, old age. I went through some anger and some grief. But then again, even during that, why did I? My mom, my dad, they weren't suffering anymore. My dad was ready to go. So am I grieving because I feel bad for them because they died? No, I'm grieving because I miss them, because I was attached to them. I think it was Buddha that said attachment is the source of all suffering. One of the greats said that. I'm not sure who it was. But as I said, suffering is a gift. Our pain, emotional pain, is a gift. I mean, it's like with little kids. Sometimes you got to give them a whop on the butt. That's not emotional pain, but it's physical pain. And they learn more from that than if you talk to them about something. Although talking is good. And I don't believe in giving a whop on the butt every time they do something wrong. I have rarely used that. My dad used it quite a bit. Extensively, but that's okay. He did the best he could with what he had. But then again, I learned a lot from that. But was it the physical whoopings that I learned from? Maybe. Or was it the sadness or the hurt I felt inside that I didn't want to disappoint my father again? The whipping, the pain goes away from that pretty quick. But the disappointment that you feel because you messed up again does not go away as quickly. And it seems that you search for more answers when you go through those feelings, when you have those feelings. There are many ways to run away from those feelings, but none of them are productive and will move you towards the life you want to live. I find many ways today to run away from feelings, and I catch myself doing it. But if you can recognize that you're doing that and you can stop it and do something more productive that will move you away from experiencing that again, it will cause growth, because we are constantly expanding. The universe is expanding, and we are expanding or contracting, as I've said many times. If you're contracting, more than likely you're in depression, life looks like a bummer, you're not enjoying it, you don't feel fulfilled. But if you're expanding, if you're stepping through fears, if you're stepping into a uncomfortable situation, if you're getting out of your comfort zone, you are expanding and you feel fulfilled and you enjoy your life and the world becomes beautiful. It is really just that simple. But sometimes for me too, it's easy to sit here in my crap and think, geez, I see so-and-so. I'll give you an example. Will Smith, Barack Obama, they both wrote a book. Is their book any better than mine? Probably not. Okay, but everybody knows who they are, and they can get a publisher like Random House or Random Penguin House, Penguin something. Anyway, the big four, the big publishers. And more than likely, their book's going to sell a lot of copies and people are going to enjoy it. Actually, I'll probably buy Will Smith's book. I don't know if I'll buy Barack Obama's. I might have thought about it. But here's the deal. Those guys, everybody knows them. So it's easier for them to get a bestseller than a guy like me. There are many authors out there that have written great books, okay? But unless they get a break, or unless they continue to persevere and put that book on the market or get it out there, few people will ever read the book. Now, it doesn't mean Will Smith or Barack's book are better. It's just that they have more of a platform to start from. But don't be discouraged if you've written a book or you've done something else. It doesn't mean you can't get there. You may have to be more persistent because you don't have the platform to start from as Will Smith or Barack Obama did. But if you continue, you will get that. Now, I started out talking about women and girls, but here I'm off on books and popularity and platforms. I have a tendency to do that. But it all comes down to, what do you want in life? You can have anything you want in life, but there's a price to pay. They say a price, but that almost makes it sound like something difficult. The price you pay will be stepping through fear. It will be persevering. It will be getting up and continuing when you get knocked down. But it's not really a price. It's a journey. It's an adventure. If you perceive it that way, it's all in the way you perceive things. Change your perspective. Change your life. Change your thinking. Change your life. It all begins with a thought, and that thought begins within you. So think something different today, and you will get different results tomorrow. Probably today also. You can't keep thinking and doing today what you did yesterday and expect a different result tomorrow. It's insanity. Okay? So I'll leave you with that. Thanks for joining me. I hope you got some value out of this. If nothing else, if it causes you to think about why your life is how it is and how you can change it. You're the only one that can change it. It begins with you. Have a great day.